fire. It's on the... He made it! Oh,
It's another night of Huntington University basketball here in Platt Arena. The St. Xavier Cougars coming to town from the windy city of Chicago, Illinois, sitting at 6-2. The Huntington Foresters at 5-3. It is another edition of FDN Sports. And man, this one should be a great one. Two teams that went to the national tournament last year. Two extremely young head coaches with great playing careers. And I've got an extremely young color commentator with me tonight. It's Jaden Woods and Preston Husband. I'm thrilled for this one. It looks to be a great game on paper, and I expect it will be on court as well.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a great game. If you're looking at the paper and the blatant stats, we're super close matched up, even especially records, 6-2, 5-3. I think it's going to be a really good game between some high-scoring teams.
Huntington is coming off a win against Mount Vernon Nazarene here at home. They are 4-0 in this gym. The Cougars, they've already dove pretty deep into conference play. They're 4-0 in their conference, the CCAC. Yeah. It's different than the Crossroads League. All these schedules are different, but they've already been pretty far into their conference season. 4-0 with some success. And here's some looks at what Huntington did. A big second half that put them over the top at home on Saturday.
Nelson had an incredible game. Annika Nelson, a new career high. She had 20 points, 7 for 12 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3, 50% from the free throw line. Not as good as she's used to, but still very solid. 8 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals. She just had a really good game. Sheets had a great game. Everyone was playing solid, and I'd love to see them continue that.
These two teams are very, very balanced. You're about to see it on the season stats we present you here tonight as Huntington is looking to get their 5th win. Here's some of the season stats. Huntington 43.8% from the field, not shooting it as well from deep. They are turning it over still too often, but scoring a lot of points. On the other side, the Cougars pride themselves on defense. They're only shooting 27.5% from downtown, 37.7 from the field. It will be a great game. Two teams that are working on getting better defensively, but Huntington, of course, under Coach Darby Maggard, very good at scoring the ball as well. At this time, we're going to send it to the PA announcer, Champ Thompson, as he will introduce you to the national anthem and prayer, and then we'll come back on FDN Sports and get this one tipped in just a few minutes.
Helping us create a positive, enjoyable, and exciting atmosphere here this evening as these two teams go at it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask you all to please stand now. Bow your heads. Gentlemen, remove your caps as we begin with a word of prayer. And that'll be followed by Gabriela Gonzalez, a sophomore here at Huntington University, leading us in the national anthem. Please join me for a word of prayer. Father, we thank you.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's washroom is ready to serve you.
My name's Bob Cayley. I'm a real estate broker with RE/MAX Results in Indiana. I love helping people buy and sell real estate. And I have a buyer's guide and a seller's guide to help people with the process. I'm also a longtime supporter of Huntington University Baseball. I love supporting them and rooting them on to victory. If you have any questions about buying or selling, you can contact me at 260-519-1724.
Back here in Platt Arena, we're going to send it back over to our PA announcer for the visiting lineup. Chant Thompson, take it away.
Minor in music. Thank you, Gabriella. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege to have St. Xavier University with us, facing off with the Foresters here this evening in Platt Arena. And here is Coach Sydney Lovich's starting lineup for the Cougars. First of all, at one forward, a 5'9" sophomore, number 3, Veronica Bafia. Also in the starting lineup, a 5'6" sophomore guard, number 4, Maeve Egan. Also starting tonight for the Cougars, 5'8" freshman guard, number 22, Brooklyn Johnson. Also starting for Coach Lovich at guard, 5'6" senior, number 24, Jaden Green. And rounding out the Cougars starting lineup, 5'11" freshman forward, number 44, Elena Peets.
Just about time for tip-off between the St. Xavier Cougars and the Huntington University Foresters, two teams that went to the national tournament last year. It's Preston Husband and Jaden Woods. We're a little short on the crew tonight, so we're going to do our best to keep everything together. It's almost fall break, the start of fall break for the students here. This Huntington team, though, they got to stick around a little longer, and they're ready to go. And we're going to see the same starting lineup we've seen so far this entire season.
Yeah, I mean, their starting lineup has been able to produce just about every night. Of course, Kendra Sheets has been a great replacement for the loss of Bailey Kellum as of right now. 8 points, 4 boards, 4 assists. She's really been helpful leading the team. Kendall Yoakum, Annika Nelson, Allison Price, and Liv Raby, a very strong core.
Darby Maggard is in year number 4. She has done an excellent job since taking the reins from the Hall of Fame coach Lori Culler. 5-3 this year, 1-1 in the Crossroads League, 4-0 here at home. This matchup, however, over the years has really favored the Cougars. They are 8-0 all time against Huntington University.
Yeah.
So Darby today, when I met with her, she said, we're going to put an end to that tonight, or at least do the best we can to keep the Cougars away from defeating the Foresters again.
That's right. She's definitely got that player spirit still. And, of course, both coaches, as you mentioned earlier, very talented players. Sydney Lovich, extremely decorated player from St. Xavier University, basically promoted to head coach from that, basically. Yeah, I think it's going to be a battle of 2 young coaches and 2 young teams. Both teams strong freshmen, very strong sophomores, and only 1 senior on either team, as far as I'm aware.
The starting 5 for the Cougars is Veronica Bafia from Homer Glen, Illinois, Maeve Egan, along with Brooklyn Johnson, Jaden Green, and Elena Peets. A young team looking to keep the streak going against the Foresters, and right away it's a missed shot right there at the rim by Brooklyn Johnson, who's coming off a monster game, 30 points and 8 rebounds as a freshman against Olivet Nazarene.
That's not very unusual for her either this season. She's averaging 12, so definitely a season and career high.
Price to Sheets, who's struggling to shoot it a little bit off of the jumpers this season. Something you will see, Huntington's going to try to throw it inside. They have a big size advantage tonight, and right on cue, it's Liv Raby.
There it is. Liv Raby didn't maybe have the strongest game of her career last time out, but I'm sure she wants some redemption against a team that, again, we haven't had the upper hand on in a long time, or ever really.
Fake handoff as Bafia goes to work inside against the freshman Price. Nice spin and touch off glass. She's their leading scorer at 14.4 points per game. She's doing a lot of that this year.
Soft touch as a forward, 51% from the field. That was a pretty layup.
Sheets gets the skip pass, Yoakum, and now right back to Raby.
Bang.
And she's got a chance for a three-point play, working to her off left on back-to-back possessions.
2 for 2 now already. Liv Raby showing the haters wrong.
That was one of my questions today for Darby Maggard. How do you get Liv Raby back to the efficiency that we're so used to seeing? And I personally said to her, I don't think it's going to last. And she said, it might start tonight because she's going to get the ball a lot. She's got the first 5 for the Foresters.
You can really tell her head is clear tonight as going into this matchup.
Skip pass inside. Cougars moving it. They don't shoot a ton of threes, only at 27.5% as a team so far this season. As Jaden Green throws it up top again, Bafia will step back, miss a jumper. There's Annika Nelson, who's having a great junior season, pulling it down.
An incredible junior Nelson has been for them defensively and offensively.
Price looking to re-enter it, and it's a 3-second call on Liv Raby, the first turnover of the night. Huntington did cut down on the turnovers. Of course, again, with Darby today, she said it couldn't have got much worse after that Spring Arbor game. 29 turnovers, just 10 against the Mount Vernon Nazarene Cougars on Saturday.
Yeah, a game like that, in terms of turnovers, there's really nowhere to go but up.
Mae Vegan back to Bafia. They're really working through her. She forces a tough 2-up, and man, the 5'9" sophomore forward right now has it going. The first 4 as it's a 2-man battle between Raby and Bafia.
Very solid body control there.
The turnover, Egan gets one to roll in, and the advantage is back to the Cougars. That's their first lead tonight.
Quick full court pressure here. They want to lock Huntington out of the winning position.
Price skips to Sheets, who catches and is able to keep those feet down. Raby asking for it. Now Nelson will get it to her top of the key. This is what Huntington had an issue against Spring Arbor's breaking the press, that time big to big, as Nelson has her first 2.
Great vision from Raby there. It's surprising to see her running the play at the top of the key.
Jaden Green, strong move against the smaller Sheets, and she has 2. She's averaging 12.5 points per game. This Cougars team, they have a lot of players that can hurt you.
Jaden Green, very talented senior guard. I also lied about the amount of seniors. They've got 4, but all of them very solid.
Quick shot there in the corner from Yoakum. Peets pulls down the rebound. And it's transition with Brooklyn Johnson, who's bumped. Peets, another offensive rebound, back to Bafia. Jaden Green, Evansville North grad. So is Kalia Neighbors. We'll see if we see her tonight. Both from the same high school, both going to St. Xavier, as Nelson has a block.
That's right, kind of followed each other there.
Yoakum and Nelson, 2 of the 3 juniors on the court, as Price drives and gets her first to go. And that's what we talked about pregame. Yep. That's not necessarily the straightest of line drives, but that is what Coach Maggard wants. She wants Allison to simplify it, straight line drives, and get to the rim.
That's right. Allison decided she wanted to drive the ball and didn't change her mind there.
Egan back over to Jaden Green. Double teamed, and now Peets will drive against Yoakum. Missed an easy one. Offensive rebound is then missed right at the rim, and it's going to stick with St. Xavier.
Unusual of them to miss those 2 layups there. Yoakum even kind of gave up on the play because it seemed like such an easy one, but lucky break for Huntington there.
St. Xavier does have an argument here. It should be 20 on the shot clock. Instead, it's 17, and doesn't look like the 3 officials caught it. So back to work goes Green with 11 now. Peets drives, left hand again, missed one right at the rim.
Solid defense, though, from Raby. And talk about defense, Peets is an incredible defender.
Raby called for a travel. She's responsible for 2 of the turnovers out of the 2 tonight. So it's 9-8 with 5:35 left here in the first quarter.
Close game so far. They've worked primarily through Raby, Huntington that is, but they're getting more players involved, and that's going to be really important down the long run.
Three-pointer from Johnson is good. Only 26.5% coming in, but gets her first one to go.
Yeah, as you mentioned, you're really not going to see many threes coming from the St. Xavier team.
Price drives in transition. There's Peets with the block. You just talked about it.
Yeah, 2 blocks and 2 steals a season. 2 steals a game on the season. Very talented.
Left side three-pointer on its way, and that one's in for Egan, who is only 24.3% coming in.
Really making us eat our words here.
Well, if you got the ability to shoot, you can make the shot, and these are college basketball players, as Raby has another one right at the rim, cuts the lead to 3.
Solid lucky bounce right there. 3 for 3 already. That's definitely important. You really want to get a strong start.
Already more field goals than she made on Saturday when she had such a tough run right around the rim. Another 3 fired and off the mark, that time rebounded by Price. She will push the pace, will Allison. Raby, Nelson, no subs yet here in the first 6 minutes. Annika, little too strong. Peets with another rebound.
Just right off the back of the rim.
Green thought about stepping back. This is Brooklyn Johnson coming off those 30 points. Takes her second triple. They're actually going to call that a long 2. And so it's a 5-point lead for the Cougs.
Yeah, foot may have just been on the line. And in this first quarter, they've already turned around their 3-point percentage by a lot.
They've knocked in their last 3 of 4 attempts. Sheets gets an open lane, finds Yoakum, skips to Price, Nelson, and now Raby. Hasn't taken as many threes this year. They'll give Annika space, and she's strong again as Johnson has another rebound.
Just barely too strong on both of her attempts. Those are heartbreakers.
Johnson against Nelson, and it's an offensive foul, and it's our first media timeout of the night. When we come back, Huntington will have the ball down 5 on FDN Sports, taking on the St. X Cougars.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
We're back in Platt Arena, 3:28 left in the first half. And if we would have had a full crew tonight, Jaden, I had the perfect graphic picked out. It would have said, on the hunt, Inkton. Because the last 3 games for Huntington, they've played a team with the name Cougars.
Right.
3 straight mascots. So let me tell you a little more about that, because I'm a stats nerd. I love stats and numbers. All right, so there's 7 teams last year. I couldn't find it for sure this year. Maybe 6 with the Cougars, which is kind of surprising. I would have thought there were more. So Huntington has 3 in their conference. That's Mount Vernon, St. Francis, Spring Arbor. They have played back-to-back Spring Arbor, Mount Vernon, St. Xavier. There are 235 to 237 NAIA teams. Your chances of playing 3 straight Cougars is 1 in 107,000. How about that?
Just, I mean, crazy to be honest. There's no way there's that many Cougars in the world.
Merritt touches that one out of bounds as Huntington will try to hunt down the Cougars here tonight. So far, it's been a good start for St. Xavier, though. They do not score a ton of points, averaging right around 66.5, but they do not give up many points either.
almost gave up that ball there, but you're right, a very defensive-oriented team, several players with positive numbers in defensive categories.
Huntington's falling back into that 1-3-1 trap that we saw completely flip the game against Mount Vernon on Saturday, and Sheets goes strong to the rim and had that knocked away. Good defense by Jaden Green.
Very solid defense. Jaden Green averaging not very many blocks, but about a steal a game. You're going to see that pretty often.
Yoakum is ready to fire the three-pointer from the left wing, and now it's Shank looking inside to Lauren Merritt. We've seen those two become big bench assets for Huntington, as Yoakum had it touched out of play, that time on Lindahl, and with just 10 on the shot clock, this St. X defense we just talked about kind of showing what they're made of.
That's right, letting up very little to basically no opportunities for the Foresters to make something out of this.
Yoakum gets it, 9 on the shot clock now. Sheets, who runs the offense, will have to get it going towards the rim. Kendra stops, pops, 15-footer is off the mark, and Pete's just eating up the rebounds right now.
Normally, Sheets likes that shot, and she makes it at a pretty average clip, but not exactly the turnout that they wanted.
One of the first subs of the game is Lindahl, another freshman. That time, Yoakum may have got a hand on the ball for a block as Price goes left hand, too strong. There's Lauren Merritt, and it's tipped last by Peets. And Huntington, again, will have it in the same situation.
They are not leaving the Foresters with any piece to do really anything with the basketball here. Really just good deflections all around. Stoppage is what you want.
Shank called for a travel as she tried going to her strong right hand, and it's another Forester turnover.
Shank, another one of those early subs. Shank's been playing incredible off the bench for the team and has really stayed with that consistency throughout the season.
16-11, we've been stuck on this score since the under 5 media timeout. Bafia to Peets. That one was thrown away. Sheets had a hand on it, but then it's recollected and off the side of the rim there by Jaden Green. She is one of the very capable three-point shooters on this team at 36%. Price launches, no good from the corner, and Peets again, another rebound.
Really kind of not shocking at all to see Peets grabbing all these boards down at really the highest frame.
Johnson, the freshman, spins and scores. She's got a couple of field goals here in the first quarter coming off that 30-point game. Yoakum, sidestep, Sheets. And Huntington trying to cut in this lead as Kendra misses one right around the rim. And again, it's Peets that cleans it up. And it's Green that pushes it ahead. Bounced into Bafia, who scores on the run.
Bafia, their second leading rebounder, and of course, as you mentioned, their primary scorer has shown some dominance early on.
But now the largest lead of the night for St. X is Price. Will try to carve into the lane. Shank working hard inside, unable to get it here. Sheets, then on the shot clock, was open for a moment, cut down by Bafia, and a travel is called as the Foresters turn it over again.
Sheets clearly a little shaken up by the strong and very effective, frankly, defense from the Cougars there. Normally that's a shot she would have continued to drive in and take, but they've really done a good job of stopping the Foresters.
Back the other way goes Jaden Green. St. X trying to add on to their largest lead. It's Johnson again, top of the key. This one's short. Peyton Hartsoe freshly in the game. Pulls down her first rebound of the night.
Hartsoe didn't see many minutes last time out on Saturday, but maybe we'll see what she can do tonight.
Yep, she's shooting the three ball at her highest percentage in her career so far, so maybe a spark off the bench. Nelson fires another three. That one is in. Now 1 for 3 from downtown. St. X has to push. It's launched from half court and just a little short. So the Foresters finally get a deep ball to go down. They're down 6, and when we come back, 10 minutes on the clock till halftime on FDN Sports.
Hi, Foresters.
Take a look at some of the stats here after the first quarter tonight. It is a 20-14 lead for the Cougars, 9 of 21 from the field. Ultra efficient, 2 of 6 from downtown as well. Those came back-to-back possessions. 1 steal, 3 assists. The big one, 1 turnover. Huntington had 5 in that first frame.
Yeah, definitely, again, what they wanted to work on was those turnovers, and only 10 in the last game, but 5 already in the first quarter.
Nelson just hit a 3 from this spot. She'll take it again, and maybe that's just her spot, because we saw that a few times on Saturday.
That spark plug player, Annika Nelson, got a chance to talk to her uncle earlier. Very cool guy.
Played with Larry Bird at Indiana State. How about that?
Really? How about that? Yeah.
He could have just told us that, though. No, I'm kidding. we don't want to say that because he had to leave early last time.
Yeah.
Bafia, drive inside, top of the key. Johnson able to keep that foot down. 15-footer is strong. There's Shank with a great rebound over the top. Huntington was 6 straight here after the largest lead was 9 for the Cougars. Shank puts it on the floor, and that is one of the dynamics of Addie you probably would not have seen much as a freshman. She's got it all now as a sophomore.
Yeah, stays moving around the court constantly. Very much a motion player trying to create space, whether it's stopping the opponents from having any or getting some for herself.
Green will put it on the floor, pushes a little 12-footer, a rebound for Raby, as she's done an excellent job cleaning up the glass tonight. Nelson right back to Shank, back against the basket, against the smaller Bafia, falls away and hits anyways.
Very efficient shooter, Shank. Love to see shots like that, though.
How about second best in the Crossroads League in field goal percentage? She's just done it all off the bench. Right side, good defense there by Addie. Forced the shooter off the line. It's Johnson looking for another triple. That's in and out. Addie pulls down another miss. 8 minutes left till halftime. Sheets keeps that pivot foot down. Hartsoe and Addie looking inside to Liv Raby, and Shank nearly traveled, but it's going to be a hold inside on Brooklyn Johnson.
Lucky call there, maybe getting away with a travel, but good to keep possession for the Foresters. As you mentioned earlier in between the break, Peets has 7 of the team's, well, more than 9 rebounds, but 7 boards already in just the first quarter. She's been very powerful on the glass.
And there's another block and a rebound for her against Annika Nelson. He's just been quite the special player for Coach Lovitz here as a freshman out of Lockport, Illinois. Freshly in the game, Julia Benjamin from Glen Ellen. Throws it over right side. It's Leah Chudzik, one of the seniors on the team, and it's thrown away there by Johnson. Sheets has a one-on-one looking for her first field goal, and it's a pretty spin move off glass.
There it is. That's a good shot right there. Chudzik, as you mentioned, a senior on the team, doesn't play very much, but last time out led the team in assists. It was a season high and a game high.
They've got a lot of different players that can hurt you. There's another one with Peets misses. Nelson rebounds, and it's touched glass by Bafia. Want to take this time real quick to say hello to everyone in the chat. We've got Jeff Shepard, of course, one of our favorite Foresters. His daughter Izzy, a freshman on the basketball team here. The Glenn family watching from Huntington Beach, rooting on Liv and the ladies. And looks like we just had Sophia Raby checking in for Liv as well, who's off to a great start with 7 points. Hartsoe drives and scores.
That running back picked up the ball and got to the hoop and everything. That was a great, very efficient shot.
Huntington has lived with their bench coming up big for them a lot this year, and that's what good teams have to do. And right now the bench unit's getting it done as Sheets gets on the floor. And it's going to be a loose ball foul, as going over the top was Chudzik. And that's one of those calls that you just, you never want it to be called, but it is always a foul because you can't just swipe someone's legs out.
Yeah, if you saw Sheets' face right there, very disappointed about that one because, of course, good hustle play, but ended up getting in the way of the getting up Chudzik, and just a heartbreaker call, really.
Now the refs are going to decide if possession was changed, which I believe it was.
I believe so.
We'll see what the decision is for the shot clock.
Johnson Brooklyn shooting a little lower than her average, 3 for 10 so far. Maybe not the most ideal start so far, but maybe she can turn it around. Still their leading scorer as it stands.
So they're going to put 20 on the shot clock. No reason to come in review, as the Cougars will have the ball. I want to tell everyone as well, we already said hello to a lot of our fans and listeners. If you're a St. X fan, you can hop right in the chat as well, or a Huntington fan, just a basketball fan in general. Tell us where you're watching from. Three's off the mark. Gravy another rebound. Huntington playing with some momentum. 25-20. Nelson looking to add on. That's off the mark. Shank again, another board. Strong with the left hand. And it's free throws for Shank as she picks up the personal on Peets.
Even though the layup didn't go in, it's still great that she got those free throws. Of course, not maybe her strongest suit this season, but still 63%, pretty solid. Shooting above 55% in every category.
That first one is good. She's coming off a great game against Mount Vernon Nazarene. 11 points on Saturday with 4 rebounds and an assist.
And a steal, picked up one of those too.
She's been excellent. Her career has 19 points last year. She's never gonna probably come out and score 30, but it was just a big recruit for Darby Maggard. State champ as a senior at high school at Bishop Luers. Just played with a lot of good players and just knows the system and keeps getting better.
That's right. It's kind of that, like, I hate to say it like this, but like that Tom Brady kind of feeling.
Nice move there by Boffey again. She had the first 4 to start. Since then, it's been a little quieter. And now she's up to 6 with that one. Sheets finds Hartso's open left wing, and that is just a huge sign for this Foresters team. Hartso had injuries. She really struggled to shoot it in her first 2 years. 35% almost this year from deep, and that takes this team to that next level.
That's right. This year, that's basically where they want her, as kind of a spark plug shooter on the wing just to get some extra points on the board.
That one's in and out. Shank again rebounds it. She's up to 5 points and 5 rebounds.
Shank will always be up there with Raby in regards to rebounds.
Addie thought about a 3, puts it on the floor and lost it. Did everything right, just didn't have the handle.
Drew the jump and everything, but just lost it. And of course, you do have to jump when Shank is about to shoot it. Again, 55% from 3.
Yeah, what's going on with that? She made her first 4 attempts in her collegiate career. Since then, she has missed a couple. Now 5 of 9 in her career, but that's added a lot as Bafia back to work. She's been on a couple of personal runs, 4-0 runs for her team. I think she needs to continue to look to score it.
That's right. Bafia is a very, I don't want to say aggressive scorer, but she's very efficient, and she's going to do it when she wants to.
Sheets a rare 3, and she gets it to go. So throw out all the numbers tonight. Everyone's a good shooter in Platte Arena tonight.
Everyone is killing it from the floor so far.
Bafia with those 4 straight for St. X, flips it over. That's left side. Haven't called Michaela Kelly's name a whole lot, a sophomore from Frankfort, Indiana. And an illegal screen is called here on Judsick. And it's going to be Huntington's ball, and it's going to be immediate timeout. It's a big run for the Foresters, outscoring St. X 18-4 in the second quarter when we come back on FGN Sports.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's washroom is ready to serve you.
Norm the Forester welcoming you back into a scorching hot second quarter for the Foresters. Man, the first quarter was a little rough, almost felt a little bit like that Spring Arbor game, but now the stats looking pretty good for the Foresters. They have found their touch from downtown, Jaden.
That's right. Nelson, she's that spark plug player. She's going to get you a 3, and then everyone else is going to start scoring. They're 4 for 9 from the field now as compared to their, I believe it was 1 for 5 exiting the fifth quarter, or the first, what in the world, the first quarter. 13 for 24 from the field, 2 for 3 from the free throw line. a steal, a couple assists more than the Cougars, and slowing down that turnover rate. Only 2 in the second quarter, much better than their first quarter counterpart. That's really good to see them picking it up right there.
They've got 5 players already with 5 points or more. Nelson leads the way with 8. It's Bafia with 10 for the St. Xavier Cougars. Again, wherever you're watching from tonight, we'd love to see a comment in the YouTube chat. Tell us where you're watching from. This is an all-student broadcast besides myself, and our students are taking some time out of their fall break to bring this action tonight. Again, it's Price, straight line drive, that time blocked by Pete, who's just filling it up on the stat sheet. Raby goes quick. Price, a 3 this time, is strong. There's Nelson again, who goes up and under, and she's into double digits again.
There's that reverse lay. That one's pretty much automatic from the Foresters, it seems.
Beats 44 against 44 here. Liv Raby was the best shot blocker in Forester single season history last year. May have just got a touch on that one.
Raby yet to miss this game, and here's Joachim.
That one rattles around and out. Joachim is a tremendous shooter. In fact, Darby Maggard said probably the best shooter I've ever coached. She's just missed a couple of open looks recently, but Darby Maggard will never give her a red light.
There's a steal from Nelson, just picked it off from the pass. Joachim had 4 steals last game. Very solid. It was from a couple of just unfortunate passes from the other team, but really keeping her eyes up.
Sheets staying in attack mode. Finds Raby right at the free throw line. She will take it. That one's in and out as well, and pulled down, rebounded by Madison Kibblekiss, who pushes it ahead. That 3 is long, and rebounded by Nelson, and then a foul is called on Kibblekiss. Back to the Foresters.
Kibblekiss averaging just a little under 4.5 points. Very solid contributor, 100% from the free throw line so far, 30% from the field. They've got a lot of people on their benches. There's 3 more people checked into the game for the Cougars tonight than the Foresters. Again, the Foresters don't have maybe the deepest bench, but the couple of backups that they do have are very solid.
And now an illegal screen on Liv Raby, as that's a turnover for the Foresters. They've been better at taking care of it here in the second quarter. Just 3 turnovers with a little less than 3 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, as we were just talking about, the Foresters have 10 bench points and the Cougars have 0 so far. Foresters really like to kick it in gear with their bench.
Left side, Julia Benjamin finds Freshly back into the game. Jaden Green, she had it ripped away by Kendra Sheets. Huntington can add on to their largest lead of the night as Joachim will reset, fires it right back to Kendra.
That was a bullet.
Sheets will reset with Raby, top of the key as we approach 2 minutes left till halftime. Price drives hard, flips it up, finishes, and another chance for a 3-point play for the Foresters.
Look at that speed just flying across the court there. 10 points a game for Price, excuse me. Very, very solid scorer. Of course, ran into some troubles with turnovers recently and maybe not shooting the 3 ball as well as she was at the start of the season, but that's that freshman jitters, as you mentioned. You and Darby talked about it a lot, and really coming into her own.
Yep, she just wants her to stay aggressive. Darby is someone that's never going to tell a player, hey, let's not do that. I mean, she gives them a ton of freedom and space to do whatever they want, and that's why her team has had so much success. And Price comes from a good basketball player. Her sister Abby plays at Malone right now. She is having an excellent season. They're 5-0, so she comes from a good high school program, 1,000-point scorer. She's going to get that back to what we saw in her first handful of career games. Nelson, another block.
The stuff there from Nelson, that's the stuff you see in highlight reels.
She is actually an underrated shot blocker. She's in the top 5 in the league as Price. Again, misses this one from behind the arc, and it's cleaned up by Kibblekiss, who pushes it ahead with Jaden Green.
Nelson, again, kind of that assassin type.
Green will knock down the mid-range jumper, and Coach Lovich going to throw this press back in to try to get this game back under control for her Cougars.
That press did a good job of slowing the Foresters down initially. Of course, broke out of it and started going on crazy runs earlier.
Huntington finds the cutting Sheets, tried going to Yoakum. It's thrown away by Kendra Sheets, and now pushing back the other way. The Cougs trying to cut this to a single-digit lead before the half.
Cougs would really like to get this down. They're definitely a consistent team, not the highest scoring, but the Foresters love to put the ball in the hoop.
And a foul called on Yoakum, as that is the third team foul. If the Cougars were to have another foul in this quarter, and over the back or a defensive foul, it'd be free throws for the Foresters. Still 2 away are the Cougars on offense.
Right, 7 in the game so far for the Cougars and only 3 for the Foresters. They've done a good job of controlling their bodies.
Jaden Green resets. We'll get that score bug up in just one moment for you, as it's an 11-point lead for Huntington. There it is, as Bafia back to work, floats it up, left it short. Nelson tried to keep it in.
Nelson may have gotten a piece of that as well.
Telling you, she's a tremendous shot blocker. She is 6'1" and plays more like a guard half the time than she does as a forward, but she is a great defender.
That's right, a block a game, a steal a game going into this season. Well, really almost a steal and a half, maybe a block and a half. They've got a couple very solid defenders.
Pete's unable to get to the rim that time, as Raby kept her hands straight up. And it's still an 11-point lead, 37-26, with 26.7 seconds left in the half. Green crosses, steps back, fires, and hits. 5 straight for her.
Green shooting very solid tonight. She's 2 for 4 now. That's 3 for 5 now, and that's her first 3 of the game.
Huntington can hold for the last shot, try to push this back to double digits. Only 3 to work with on the clock. Sheets drives, and that is off, but not going to count, as it's up late from Yoakum. And now we've got Coach Darby Maggard, who will join us here following the first half in Platt Arena. Coach, kind of another slow start tonight, but you get right back on track. It was Liv Raby who had the fast start, but then again, Annika Nelson, back-to-back games where she has been aggressive, and it is paying off with 10 points and 8 rebounds in the first half.
An's doing a really good job. So was Liv. I thought she started really, really strong. She's doing a great job of posting down there and commanding a lot of attention. But Annika, she's playing really, really hard. She's taking really good shots, and then she went and got an offensive rebound there, stick back, that was really, really nice too. So I'm really proud of both of them. And then, yeah, they're doing well.
You guys went on a big run there. Of course, the 3-ball is always a big part of your offense. Annika hit a couple, but then Kendra Sheets and Peyton Hartsoe. She is shooting a career high. She did not shoot it well her first 2 years. She battled with some injuries last year. She is a capable shooter, and she showed that tonight and really had a big 5 points during that long run of yours.
Oh, yeah, Peyton, she's one of the hardest workers on our team. She comes in every day ready to work and really ready to do anything that we ask her, whether that's guarding the other team's best player or whether that's hitting some big shots. And so she's doing a really good job of hitting those shots for us. And, yeah, I thought her minutes were super impactful today.
All right, Coach, thanks. Go talk to your girls, and we'll see you afterwards.
Thank you.
37-29 for Preston Husband and Jaden Woods. We're going to send it to a short break. When we come back, we'll recap the first half and get you ready for half number 2 on FDN Sports.
My name's Bob Cayley. I'm a real estate broker with RE/MAX Results in Indiana. I love helping people buy and sell real estate. And I have a buyer's guide and a seller's guide to help people with the process. I'm also a longtime supporter of Huntington University baseball. I love supporting them and rooting them on to victory. If you have any questions about buying or selling, you can contact me at 260-519-1724.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's washroom is ready to serve you.
To me, Forester Camps is learning new things.
Definitely a lot of fun.
To me, Forester Camps is a great experience.
A great way to explore different opportunities.
There is a lot of really cool activities and opportunities you can get here. It's really informative on how college actually is, and the people are really nice.
Something that everybody can find something that interests them.
All the professors, all the faculty, they're intentionally welcoming to us.
You learn a lot here and you learn it well.
It was a camp that had so much to offer. Like everything I was interested in, it was being taught here, and it was like I couldn't really pass it up.
And it's fun too. It's something that like people can be engaged in and have a great time, but also still learn life lessons and lessons about the Bible.
Super fun, but also super educational. Like they took the education process and made it fun.
To me, Forester Camps is making new friends.
I hoped that I would be able to make more friends who have not really been around much.
I was also kind of hesitant because I'm an introvert, but I got some new friends.
Some of my favorite experiences were just getting out and talking to people with similar interests. People who are passionate with the same thing that you're passionate with.
To me, Forester Camp is fellowship.
To me, Forester Camps is getting to be a home away from home, I guess.
Great way to experience life here at Huntington University.
You meet a lot of different people from either from all over the world or here at campus. A lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different personalities, and I think that's a really good opportunity.
To me, Forester Camp is engaging.
To me, Forester Camps is amazing.
A great opportunity to learn about what you want to pursue in life.
A space to learn new things in a safe environment. Inspiring.
A good look in on the real college experience.
You don't really have anything to lose by coming to the camp. I think a lot of people are scared to take that risk. I could promise you that you wouldn't be bored or not have a good time here.
Something only happens one time in the universe. It never happens exactly the same. So you better take your opportunity while you can.
To me,
Forester Camps is
a lot of different opportunities with a little bit of Jesus mixed in.
I've been interested in animation since I was really young. Animated movies have always been my favorite.
Heard about it from my dad. He had saw that they're having an animation camp. I told him that I want to go.
So my photography made me interested in working with cameras, and that's what I want to do.
It was a camp that had so much to offer. Everything I was interested in, it was being taught here and stuff.
The knowledge of animation, how it works, and getting better at it so I can pursue my future career.
And I've always just kind of been interested in this for so long, it was I couldn't really pass it up. And I have learned those things, professional things that I would not be able to do at home.
Some of my favorite experiences were just getting out and talking to people with similar interests, people who are passionate with the same thing that you're passionate with.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
Forester Camps is making new friends.
A great way to explore different opportunities.
Great way to experience life here at Huntington University.
I looked into OTA and it looked like a lot what I wanted to do, but I still wasn't really sure what all it was.
But I did know that I did want to be in the medical field, but I don't really have a stomach for blood. This was a different way to be able to help people physically, but not have to open them up.
Since it's a smaller place, everyone knows each other. They can invest time in each other.
This would be a great way to learn about it and see what it is.
So I saw how life-changing that can be, and it made me want to do that.
I saw Forester Camp when I was at school. It said health science, and I'm really interested in medicine.
I was really set on nursing, but I didn't know any else like biology, chemistry, things like that. So health science was able to broaden my spectrum and learn more things in the science world.
It's opened my mind to a lot of things in the medical field. I'm definitely taking away a lot of knowledge that I didn't have before. Also a lot of new friends.
I was also kind of hesitant because I'm an introvert, but I got some new friends.
There isn't just one set biology you can do, from microbiology to biochemistry. So knowing my options is something that I'm gonna take away.
I'm wanting to learn about health sciences and God is all through health. God created all of us. That's pretty freaking cool.
One of the greatest opportunities I've had for my profession in the future.
If you're interested in something, or if you want to go to college, or if you want to make friends, go.
Hello, my name is Courtney. I am a senior here at Huntington. I played volleyball here for 4 years and had so much fun doing it.
Great back and forth between two teams.
Now HU on a mini run here to pull it a little closer.
Growing up, my mom was a PE teacher, so she was always in the gym. I was always in the gym. She coached volleyball, she coached softball. Anything that you could probably coach, she probably did. It's hard to find the words to really describe what my mom means to me. Throughout my entire life, she's been my constant through everything. I don't think I would have ever been here, for one, playing collegiately if it wasn't for her, but also I wouldn't ever have the drive that I do. I wouldn't have the competitive edge that I do if it wasn't for her, because she instilled that in me since I can ever remember. Yes, she's been there for me, but also there had to be a point where I was there for her. I was in high school my freshman year. My mom was diagnosed with cancer, and she wasn't sure how that was gonna pan out. She was insanely strong. I've never met another person that is as strong as my mom. When you're faced with the chance of losing somebody like that, it truly changes your outlook on them. And I think that truly brought us so much closer. So I'm 3 hours away from home here, and my brother also plays at Toledo, so my mom is traveling all of the time. If I was struggling on a Sunday and I wanted to go home, she's met me halfway and had dinner. Or if we have a volleyball game and it's 4 hours away, she'll be there, she'll drive it. she'll watch, so she'll support, give me a hug after the game, and drive home without any complaints. It felt like she was 10 minutes down the road because she was so present.
She is the reason why I wear number 14 in the first place. She always wore 14 playing volleyball growing up, and that was very important to me.
Through all of that, the game of volleyball has given me so many relationships that I will have the rest of my life. And it's so crazy how a black and white ball can bring together so much and can mean so much.
Hello everybody and welcome back inside of Platt Arena. It's been a Foresters show so far, 37-29 as we come out of the halftime break here in just a couple minutes, but Preston and I got a couple things to talk about. First of all, let's kind of just go over who's been leading the way. Annika Nelson, again, that assassin kind of build. She's very lanky. She's going to get you a bunch of blocks this game, apparently. A couple points every night out, leading the team right now. 10 points, 7 boards, 50% from the field. Liv Raby right behind her, just 1 miss under her belt. Also 4 boards. Kendra Sheets has done solid. And then for the St. Xavier Cougars, Veronica Baffia has been leading the way, 10 points, up only 1 board and 50% from the field. Brooklyn Johnson has been doing solid as well, right behind her. Haven't seen her much in the second quarter. And Jaden Green, 7 points and 2 assists. Elena Peets, normally pretty solid scorer, 9 points per game and 10 boards-ish per game. Tonight she's already got 8 boards going into the second half, but no points. How do you think that's affecting how the Cougars are playing tonight, and what do you think they'll do in the second half to maybe turn it around?
I mean, for Pete, she's a young big playing against a really talented shot blocker in Olivia Raby, so it's hard for her to maybe get some of those usual open looks. However, she did only take 4 shots, so she comes out in this second half, she makes her next 4, she completely flips this game on its head. But defensively, man, so active blocking shots and rebounding is a crucial part of this game, because if she didn't rebound well, this game could have got out of hand, but it's still within reach for the Cougs.
That's right. Without her, they would only have 9 boards in comparison to the Foresters' 24. They've done good. As we get into the second half of action, it's Jaden Green passes off to Elena Peets, driving in on Raby. She'll find Green on the wing at the top of the key. She drives in on Sheets. Good defensive pressure, but not enough to stop it. Green will get the first bucket in the second half.
Man, Green is so shifty and has every single part of her game working, and she needs to keep being aggressive for the Cougars. You call her a 3-level scorer. We've seen her knock down the 3. We've seen her hit the mid-range and the free throw line right here, and you've seen her work around the rim. I'd keep going to 24 if I'm in red.
Uh-oh, here's some defensive pressure there. Nelson, that'll be a jump ball. Should stay with the Foresters here on their side, but as you mentioned with Green, I'd even call her just a 3-level player there. Good rebounder, good at handling the ball, and efficient from everywhere on the floor.
She is averaging a career high in assists per game, rebounds per game, 3-point percentage so far. So yeah, you're spot on. She just keeps improving in a lot of different ways.
Sheets, deep pressure on their own side, and almost, it's like, not sure what the call was there, but it looks like the Cougars will retain possession on the Foresters side of the ball.
I think it was a 10-second call.
I figured it was something like that, but very good pressure from the Cougars there, as Green will lead the offense headed into this possession. Finds Peets off to Brooklyn Johnson. Now Green again looking for Baffia, who had a tremendous first half. Driving in, bumps Price, and it looks like that'll be a foul on Price as the Cougs will retain possession.
Yeah, definition of the reach in there by the freshman Price. Did a good job staying in front of Baffia. Got a little too anxious there and didn't allow her to continue her drive.
It's Green, finds Baffia again. The step back pull-up midi is no good, but Peets fights for the board, rips it away from Raby, and Green with a 3 is no good. Almost another offensive board, just throws it to Raby there on accident.
So right now, St. X looks like the hungrier team.
That's
I mean,
right.
This is the first time Huntington's had it across the mid-court in the first minute of the second half. Huntington has to be careful against this pressure and just take care of the basketball.
Very high pressure from the Cougs here as Nelson gets an open drive, and there it is. Breaks the lid off for the Foresters.
So Nelson hits a couple of triples in that first half. Now you get the back cut going because the defender's so close, and Raby's got great vision.
That's textbook basketball as Bafia has it at the top of the key. Working on Price, she drives in, puts up a long layup, and that one's good off the backboard.
Man, Bafia, when she has shot it, it feels like she has made it every single time. So efficient.
Just gets caught up by the defender there, somehow gets away with that, and maybe a blocking foul on, looks like a blocking foul on Brooklyn Johnson, the freshman guard from West Aurora. Very talented, again, coming off an incredible game last time out. The Cougs have definitely been relying on her a little bit. Didn't see her too much in the second quarter, though.
This game is so different than the game on Saturday.
I was going to say.
So many whistles on Saturday compared to this, where it's really just been let them play. It's physical, not a ton of free throws. And St. X might have some good arguments. There weren't many fouls on the Foresters in that first half, but already a couple here in the second.
That's right. Not too many whistles and barely any stoppage of play as Ribby starts working on Pete's. Raby passes off to Nelson. Nelson loses it and looks like may have been poked away by Gianno Amadio.
Remember, you got to say that like a true Chicagoan. Amadio.
Gianna Amadio.
We did get approval from
That's right.
Coach Lovich, excuse me, to say it like that as well.
Nelson working on her, passes out to Sheets, and the rare three sinks through the net.
How about Kendra? 21.4% from downtown this year. She's hit 2 huge triples, and that just gets the lead back to a little bit of a comfort zone for now.
You know, she started off very efficient from the field, maybe lost it a little bit as we see a missed layup from Miss Maeve Egan, as Price is working on the defender now. Quick dribble moves, almost lost it there, drives in, kicks out to Sheets, and another three is off the mark. Little long, Nelson grabs the board and passes it right to Jaden Green for the Cougs. She drives it up, and a soft layup just rims right out, and Joachim grabs the board.
Green frustrated. She did everything right, just a little too strong off glass.
Price almost thought about the three. Raby working on a smaller defender, but is doubled. Sheets, and it looks like a 3-second violation on Liv Raby there. Got caught up with the defenders and just couldn't escape.
And that defense comes quickly. Liv's just got to make a decision a split second quicker to skip that to the corner because Nelson was waiting for it.
That's right. That 3 seconds is so quick when you're down in the paint, especially when you're trying to make your way out of a trap. The drive is almost stopped by Joachim, but a soft lay off the backboard will go in.
Egan's been impressive. She's not a big-time scorer on this roster, but she makes all the right plays.
Price with the fast break. Good body control, and it drops.
You can't give Annika Nelson an assist there, but her holding that defender back and sealing her off makes it an easy shot for
That's
Price.
Textbook fast break offense. Great plays from the Foresters as Bafia spins around, gets trapped in the paint, throws one up, but Peets grabs a board over Joachim, who blocks a shot. Now Green drives, almost loses Sheets there, and puts up a charity stripe jumper that sinks.
Green is such a good scorer. She just handles the ball. It's like it's on a string.
Every time she takes it, it looks like it's about to go in as Sheets will get caught up, maybe a lane foul there, as the Foresters will keep possession on the offensive.
Again, we want to tell you, if you want to say hello on YouTube, you can type in the chat. We'd love to know where you're watching from. Friend Jaden Woods taking over some play-by-play here.
That's
Are you
right.
a sophomore
it's been a little
or freshman?
bit. I am a sophomore now. I didn't get a chance to call in my freshman year simply because, you know, there were a couple instances where I was just very busy last year. I just didn't have the time.
It looks like Amadio is going to get some work here. Might have a little blood on her lower left leg. Yeah, and we've had a lot of new voices on FDN Sports this year, so it's been cool. And I'm glad you get to do some play-by-play as well. Kind of lets me sit back and relax a little bit, rest my voice.
Yeah, the color slot is fun, but I really found my role with play-by-play, and I think it's been a little bit, you know, getting over a sickness, but it's great to be back a little bit. It's Shank at the top of the key, driving in on Pete. And it looks like a travel there, lifted her pivot foot when she was going back up against Pete.
Not only were there 3 refs on the court, but the 13 refs to our left on the bench, they were right about that one because Shank just got going a little too quickly on that spin move.
Just didn't slow down quite enough. Green trying to figure out what play to run. Look to Bafia. She'll look to the corner. That's Gianna Amadio. Now it's Green again at the top, driving in. Thought about a pull-up. Kicks off to Egan. Green looking for something. She'll drive off to the left, pick it up, and looks like a blocking foul from Shank.
Yeah, might want to have another look at that one.
Yeah,
not saying it wasn't a foul, it just didn't. Yeah. Looks like she could have reached in, got the left arm. Green.
Yeah, under the hoop on the opposite side, not necessarily exactly the best angle to see what conspired there, but either way, some of the first free throws of the night now, Jaden Green taking them, and that one's no good.
I think Sheets was doing a good enough job keeping her chest in front of the ball, and then the big Shank just wants to reach in. That's one you just kind of live with Green taking a tough shot. If she makes it, she makes it.
Yeah, you force the free throws, and that's really all that matters. What could have been a 2-point play now becomes a 1-point play. So either way works out for the Foresters there. Nelson finds Sheets. She'll drive in and kick off to the corner. It's Joachim with her first 3 of the night.
She just seems to hit threes when her team needs it. She has yet to drop one in tonight, and there she is off a great left-handed pass from Sheets.
Right, 1 for 3 for her now as Bafia puts one up, trading blows back-to-back. Puts her up to 12 on the night. Bafia's been a very reliable scorer. It's Nelson, gets it poked away by Amadio. There we go, I got it right that time. As a timeout will be called. And that'll be our first media timeout of the second half. We'll take a quick break with them. Foresters up by 6 in Platte Arena, and when we come back, we'll see what the Cougars can do. Hello, everybody, and welcome back inside of Platte Arena after that short break. Foresters up by 6, and it's been a very solid game so far. We'll take a look at some of the game stats for tonight. Bafia has been leading the way for the Cougars tonight with 14. As a team, 18 for 47 from the field. Definitely not as efficient as maybe they're used to. From the three-point line, a little better than they're used to. 3 for 10 from the field. Again, not great, but as a team, that's around where they would shoot normally. The Foresters 6 for 15 from beyond the arc. And free throws has been a pretty even matchup as we'll finally get back into some basketball.
Yeah, we had 66 free throws combined, I think, in the men's game on Saturday tonight.
Jeez.
Only, I think, what was it, 5 or 6? So it's been a much different game than the games we saw on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. A loose pass there gets picked off. And it's like a turnover there. Was that a travel call there? Okay. A travel is called, and the Foresters will take possession. Didn't quite get a good look at that myself, but Price will lead the way down the court now as she's pressed by Amadio.
Yeah, Amadio, she's only scored 1 point so far this year, but she has helped St. X get back in this game. Her on-ball defense has been really wreaking havoc.
That's right. It's not always just the points that matter. It's, of course, those bench players who provide something more than that, as Raby takes her first 3 of the season, and that one's no good. Boarded and pushed up the court now by Jaden. Looked for the pull-up. thought about it and adjusted. Resetting now. She'll look for a screen from Bafia. Little fake pass off, and now it's Egan. In the corner, it's Amadio, and a whistle is blown, and the Foresters will take possession.
Yeah, and that's some of the pain of this Cougars team with Amadio. She has brought it defensively. She just doesn't really get involved too often on offense, and that's not saying she's not capable, because she shot great percentages from the field last year. She's just not in these late game situations as often.
Yeah, Nelson will drive. The reverse lay is off, but a foul is called, and that's a shooting foul. She'll go to the line for the first time in a while from just about anyone, and the first time for her.
Yep, Nelson has just continued to work on all facets of her game. One that maybe still could jump a little higher, and this is just us nitpicking, 64.3% from the line. If she could get that up around 75, 80 is very high, obviously, but she is a good shooter. We've seen it from 3 this season.
She's a very talented shooter, and as we've seen tonight, and throughout the season really, but especially tonight, very talented defender. She's got several blocks, a couple steals already, as we see Yoakum applying some half-court pressure. They're back into a zone. Looks like a familiar, as we've seen the past couple games, that 1-3-1. Yoakum pressuring the top, Shank. Now it's Egan, and the pass is picked off by Allison Price. She'll push it up the court, drive in, off to Raby, and a soft bounce off the backboard is no good.
That's one Liv would love to have back, as we've seen her make that 100 times here in Platte Arena.
That's right, just about 9 out of 10 times. She's gonna make that normally, but no good there. Very fierce defense from the Foresters here. You mentioned going into this, the Cougars looked hungrier, but right now the Foresters look starving, and they almost get another pickoff, and either way the ball will go their way, as it was last touched by Brooklyn Johnson.
So Huntington implemented this 1-3-1 on Saturday, and it won them the game. I will take that home with me. That is something that Darby implemented when she got here. She just doesn't always use it that often because she's got to find the right spot. It's back-to-back games now. Even if they're not turning you over, you're looking up at the shot clock, Jaden, there's 5-6 seconds left, so you're forced to take a bad shot.
Right. It really does a good job of controlling the floor, but again, if you do it all the time, players will find a way to work around it. So they've done a good job of differentiating their plays. We'll see Egan with it now, working off a screen from Peets, takes a long J and sinks it.
24.3% from out there this season, and she's knocked in 2 of her 3 tonight.
And you can tell she's got the go-ahead, taking a shot from that far out, as we see Yoakum do a similar play, and a whistle's blown, and the Cougars will receive ball now, as we see Julia Benjamin check in for Bafia.
Didn't quite catch what was
quite sure what was blown either, to be honest.
Maybe Kendall was on the line when she shot that.
It seemed like a foul, though. Either way, the Cougars will take possession, and Green will lead the way. Kicks off to Johnson, who finds Peets, passing it around. Now Green will take a long 3, and that one sinks too, bringing it to only a 2-point game for the Foresters.
Man, she's just been so good again tonight. Staying calm, finding the right shot, and then making it when she gets open.
And looks like she stepped out of bounds there for sure this time, as the Cougars will take possession. A couple blunders on the past couple plays. We'll see how they can react to this. The Cougars have done a great job of playing through a couple players in particular. Jaden Green, 60% from the field, 66% from 3 so far, with 16 points, leading the team now.
So what we talked about, that danger zone you can get in with this St. X team if you keep turning it over, and Huntington's pushing towards that 15, 17 mark. Make it 17 right now.
It's Green now again, steps back and pulls up again. No good there. As Sheets fights for the board, finds Yoakum, who finds Sheets. Sheets drives in, kicks off to Nelson. She'll drive in and put up a shot that's blocked, I believe, by Peets, who also is running it up the court now. And what could have been an easy bucket is just slipped right through the hands of Brooklyn Johnson.
Yeah, Peets a little too hot to handle there for Johnson. It was a great play. That's 5'11" forward, not someone that maybe takes it up the court too often. Your eyes just light up. You're so ready to make the right play, and she did, just not quite the precision.
Sheets, way to work out of the double team, finds Nelson, finds Shank, thought about the three. Shank takes a long midi, not necessarily what we're used to from her, and another block from Peets. And it looks like a foul on what could have been a fast break, as the Foresters will retain possession there.
Yep, it was Johnson there, and you could even hear Coach Lovett yelling, "No, B," because she knew Brooklyn reached in and picked up her fourth. And again, where's Shank gonna go with that? Just stay out. It's hard to do that because it's a reaction. It's a human reaction. But now one of their best players and scorers has to sit for a while with 4 personal.
That's right. Johnson, very talented. Nelson Peets with another shot block. Man, she is absolutely protecting the rim at all costs.
I mean, she has just been everywhere defensively.
This game alone is probably going to raise it by a lot, as a long three is chucked up at the end of the third quarter. Foresters will retain the lead, but just by a little bit, 49-47, as we enter our quarter break. Thank you so much for tuning in to FDN News. We'll be right back with more exciting basketball.
Hi, my name's Bob Cayley. I'm a real estate broker with RE/MAX Results in Indiana. I love helping people buy and sell real estate. And I have a buyer's guide and a seller's guide to help people with the process. I'm also a longtime supporter of Huntington University baseball. I love supporting them and rooting them on to victory. If you have any questions about buying or selling, you can contact me at 260-519-1724.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's washroom is ready to serve you.
Hello everybody, and welcome back inside of Platt Arena, entering the fourth quarter. I'm going to give it to Preston here for a second to go over some of the comments we've received.
Yeah, I want to say hello to Christy Woods, special fan of Jaden, checking in. Yeah, your mom checking in from Valpo.
Woods.
And then we've got Jenny, Aunt Jenny, cheering for Lauren Merritt. I saw you in the first half. I just couldn't get to you before half. The Glenn family is still there, checking in. T-Man 22. I bet that's Tim Averill. Preston, you're the GOAT. You too, Jaden. And then we've got Allison Amadio, go number 13, the Cougs. Thank you for pronouncing it right. We work on that hard.
We do. It's Green now at the top of the key. She's leading the way, drives it off the right, and puts it up. No good, though. Just bounces out. And good control there from Joachim to not grab it on its way out.
So what can happen in a game like this, Jaden, is the team that punches first pulls away and can win. It's just been so back and forth. Both teams have grabbed some significant leads. Who can do it next might be who wins the game.
That's right, as we see a not as great pass as we're used to from Shank there. And the shot from Peets, no good, yet to break out of her scoring drought. 12 boards on the night, though, and a ton of blocks. She still had her way. Sheets will drive off to the left. She finds, Sheets grabs it again, and she'll pass it way over to Hartsoe. Hartsoe will find Raby. Haven't heard her too much, resting her up for the fourth quarter, as Sheets will take a three. No good. We've seen a couple from her tonight, though. And a travel off the rebound. That's a heartbreaker there. Bafia just turns it over right off the rebound. And you were saying the team who punches first pulls away, but this game has been so close, and I think what's happening is the Cougars are so close to catching up from when they used to have it right there, as we'll see Raby in the paint. Puts up an easy bucket as she had the height advantage.
Man, Raby gets herself in a perfect position, dribbles back off the defender Bafia, who she does have the size on. If that's Peets, that's a different story because she's such a good shot blocker.
Right. She's got that long wingspan. She's ready to slap any ball out of the air, basically. Peets drives in off the left hand. And there's a blocking foul on Raby there. Just pushed her a little bit before she could get her feet set.
We do want to tell you guys, not only can you comment on YouTube, but you can also follow us on Instagram at FDN Sports. Students do a great job creating content on there and keeping you up to date on Foresters athletics.
See Price take a bit of a seat there as Green will kick it off to Benjamin. Spin move, puts it up off the left hand. Very quick footwork there from Julia Benjamin. We haven't heard too much, but pretty capable scorer.
A nice little step through. That would have been a huge bucket for a player only averaging around 4 points per game. Couldn't get it to fall. We've seen a few of those tonight from the Cougars. Great move, just not there with the finish.
It's Yoakum with a long three. No good, just right off the back of the rim. And looks like the ball will go with the Cougars. Yeah. I was a bit confused. Didn't look like anyone was walking to the end line, but Green will lead it up. Only a little over 7.5 minutes left in a very close game as Bafia will drive in off the paint, bumps into Price. The basket will not count, I don't believe.
Nope, they're going to say Price got her right when she began her drive.
That's right, so they'll receive the ball, but no free throws, and the bucket will not count.
Raby,
and
by the way.
Coach Lovich not very happy about that one.
Raby, by the way, with 3 now. Has got to be careful.
Heats almost picked up another foul there. A bit of a swing as Sheets will drive it the other way. One man down, and the kicked ball violation as Sheets kind of accidentally threw it off of Pete's feet. Ah, what a lot of eats.
Pete's feet.
We'll see the Cougars, or excuse me, the Foresters retain possession. Sheets passing it in. Not really sure. Sheets will pass it in, looks for Yoakum. Yoakum working on Peets, and another block from Peets.
One of the better defensive performances I've seen by a single player in a long time.
Just not letting a single bucket up near the hoop. It's Bafia, and almost loses it there as Yoakum picks it off. Price driving it up, very well defended, and loses it. Tries to save it, but just sends it back towards the bench.
And that right there is exactly what Darby Maggard talked about with the freshman Price. She is an excellent player.
Right.
Pick the ball up, stop, 2 feet, and just slow the play down because you're out of control and you got to hold on there and get a good shot.
Not sure. Looks like a legal screen there as the Foresters will pick up the ball here on their own side. Still a close game. We haven't seen very many points at all in this fourth quarter with only 7 minutes left. 3 minutes. I believe the Foresters have only scored 2 points and the Cougars have scored none.
That's it. 2 points in the first 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
They're doubling Sheets now and pick it off. It's Peets as we'll see a drive from Kelly. She'll find Peets at the top of the key, who will find Green wide open, and that one's good. Bringing the lead to only 1 for the Foresters in a game where they could maybe break an 8-0 drought.
It looks like that's going to take us to our media timeout, the first timeout of the game, as it's 51-50. We'll send it there and come back and see if the Foresters can hold on FDN Sports.
My name's Bob Cayley. I'm a real estate broker with RE/MAX Results in Indiana. I love helping people buy and sell real estate. And I have a buyer's guide and a seller's guide to help people with the process. I'm also a longtime supporter of Huntington University Baseball. I love supporting them and rooting them on to victory. If you have any questions about buying or selling, you can contact me at 260-519-1724.
Hello everybody and welcome back to fourth quarter basketball of what's been a very slow start to a very close game overall and generally high scoring.
Yeah, these two teams defensively can really hurt you, but they can also get it going offensively. The person that's carrying St. X right now, right in front of you, that's Jaden Green. She has just had the touch. Anytime she's open, as the home announcer tonight, it feels like that shot is going in, and that's what it's felt like right now. Huntington, they're just not taking good enough care of the basketball. Right. They just have to slow down, play within themselves. They have the size advantage, even though Pete's is blocking a bunch of shots. Go to your best players, get into a rhythm, find a good shot.
That's right. Pete's has just been unstoppable down below the hoop tonight. Raby has been slowed down a bit by it. It looks like they're looking for more outside options, as we'll see Yoakum with a crossover, easy bucket.
She's got that in her game too. She just doesn't show it, but she is 6'1", long and athletic, and she can put it on the floor. You see 33% tonight, 42% from 2 on the season. She can get it done from anywhere.
Good hustle from Nelson to stay with the play, cutting around all those screens as the ball is just kind of knocked out of bounds, and the Cougars will retain possession.
That's Yoakum again, though, reaching out, tipping that out of play. She had 4 steals. She's got a couple a night. She had 4 on Saturday, I should say. She's just so long, and when you think you can sneak it around her, it's hard to do.
Right in the paint now. A layup is tossed, but no bucket as Price drives it up the floor. A crossover spin move into a bucket. A shot off the box, but no luck.
See, again, that's more under control, though. You can live with that. You just don't want the bouncing balls towards the out-of-bounds line when nothing happens on a fast break.
It's Kelly now with a long 3, no good, right off the back of the rim. Haven't heard her name too much. Again, 2 points per game. As we'll see Price leading it. Raby now finds a cutting sheets and an easy bucket off the backboard.
Raby is never going to really have big assist games, but she now has hit 2 back cuts perfectly.
Wow, and a bucket from Julia Benjamin, the freshman guard from Glenbard West. That's a good shot right there.
Again, that's one of the shooters you really got to keep a close eye on at 35%.
A blocking foul on Michaela Kelly, just kind of bumped her out of bounds there. Sheets will be passing the ball in now for the Foresters. We'll see the second media timeout and the final one for the night, as we'll go to a short break. When we come back, Foresters are up by 2 against the St. Xavier Cougars. We'll see what this game has in store for us.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
Hello everybody and welcome back inside of Platt Arena in what's been a very close game between the Cougars and the Foresters here, as we'll take a look at some of their season stats. Both teams have been very solid overall. We talked about it a little bit during the pregame. Similar-ish in the 2-point field goal percentage. Pretty good. Not as well as we've seen recently with the Foresters in regards to 3-point field goals, but very evenly matched up in just about every major category. Of course, Forrester squeak it out in terms of assists, but they kind of lose in that turnovers category. Overall, very evenly matched teams, though, and it's really shown here tonight.
Yeah, Cougars at 27.5% from 3 as Pete's has another block. On the season tonight, they're 7 of 16, 44%.
Yeah, keeping up pretty well as Pete's just gets a little back tap there. That's the heartbreaker you never really want to see when you're going up for a layup, as Sheets will run it up the floor now, looking for Nelson. Nelson in the corner will find Raby at the top, who finds Yoakum. Passing the ball around a lot here, trying to work on this tight defense. Sheets finds Raby, a little bit of an off man, and puts up a left-hander. That's why you gotta have that in your bag. Finally gets a bucket over Pete's.
7 in the first quarter, has been pretty quiet since, and then Yoakum just twisted her ankle.
A beautiful block, though, right before then. I heard that slap from over here. That was pure clean, but definitely not what I think for right now. We'll go to a short break and see how this turns out. Thank you so much for tuning in to FDN Sports. We'll see you soon.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
Hi, my name's Bob Cayley. I'm a real estate broker with RE/MAX Results in Indiana. I love helping people buy and sell real estate. And I have a buyer's guide and a seller's guide to help people with the process. I'm also a longtime supporter of Huntington University baseball. I love supporting them and rooting them on to victory. If you have any questions about buying or selling, you can contact me at 260-519-1724.
All right, so Kendall Yoakum was carried off the court, well, helped off the court by 2 of the athletic trainers. We wish her the best, but we will get back into action here and hopefully have an update for you maybe later in the game or the next time we're on FDN Sports. But of course, keep Kendall in your thoughts and prayers as she's helped off the court. We'll see if the Foresters can win with some of her teammates out there.
That's right. Thank you, Preston. We'll get right back into basketball as Bafia finds Johnson. Didn't see her a lot as she gets the crossover and a little floater. Very pretty move right there from Johnson.
And that's what she can do. She just has been quiet really since that little stretch in the first quarter, but look for her to try to take some big shots here late in the game.
Nelson finds Hartso, who finds Raby at the top of the paint. She'll drive in, just working easily on Pete's. Not what we've seen Pete's do throughout the game, but an easy bucket there with the lefty.
Yeah, Raby just showing some of that strength and so good with her offhand.
It's Johnson again with a nothing but net bucket. That's a good shot right there, as we'll see Sheets running it up the floor. She's double teamed at the timeline. We'll see Nelson now. Sheets passing it around the arc now. Raby wants it in the paint. She's backing down Pete's again, and a block will turn into a foul as the Foresters will retain possession.
I think they're going to call it shooting.
Yep, that'll be some free throws for Raby. We haven't seen very many this game at all, which is shocking for such a close game. It's Raby's second and third of the night. She made her first, which I believe is in the first quarter. We really have not seen very many. Raby puts up the first, and that one's good.
And you can hear the staff next to us from St. X say you got to go sooner to Maeve Egan, who's about to go in, because they want to double her quicker. They're letting Liv really just dribble her way back to the basket, to the block, and when she gets there, she is so efficient. Even though she hasn't been this year in her career, she was a first-team all Crossroads League preseason player. So
that's right.
They don't want her to get that deep position.
I was going to say, she was that for a reason. Very talented, very able to get shots like that when teams don't stop her before she gets there. We'll see Green working on Sheets. She puts up a right-handed layup, no good. It's 4-on-5 now for the Foresters. Hartsoe puts up a three, and that one's good. Hartsoe shooting lights out tonight.
As soon as she caught it, I felt like it was going in, and that is, again, from someone who has not shot it well in her career, but this year, 34.5%.
That's right, 2 for 2 on the night as well from beyond the arc, 3 for 3 in total. As we'll see Egan take a shot and just bounces off the rim and the top of the board, double teamed on the edge. It's Sheets, finds Price. Price finds Nelson.
Good decision.
Slowing it down now. That's exactly what Darby wanted to see as Sheets cuts in deep, and Nelson thought about a three, finds Price in the corner. That one's a blocking foul to the discontent of some people around us, but that'll be the Foresters' ball.
Yeah, it looked like pretty good defense. Do want to say hello to Abby, who is tuning in now. Abby, we already talked about you earlier and how you're having a good start at Malone, 5-0 this season. But yeah, Allison, when she gets back to being more comfortable at shooting it, she'll take that open three from the corner and knock it in. But how about this?
There it is, Allison Price. As we say her name, she gets an easy bucket off a smart cut.
And the more she does knock down the triple, when she gets back to it, she will get more of those back cuts available.
A foul is called there. I'm not sure. Maybe an illegal screen it may have been, but the Foresters will receive the ball just a couple yards away from the volleyball line.
Yeah, it might have been a tough one on the Cougars. I thought it could have been a reach in on the on-ball defender, but HU gets the ball back.
Calling a lot of them here in this fourth quarter as Sheets works off to the right, finds Hartsoe with the pass off. Nelson in the paint off a pass from Raby is no good, but grabs her own board and puts it back.
Hey, just padding a little stats there is Annika. She's one rebound away from a double-double.
There it is, only one more, and that one put her at 16, so close to breaking her record again. Nelson tries to stop that great drive from Bafia, but no luck as Bafia will grab some extra points there. Foresters are up 9, and we're going to keep it here and talk about some other stuff we've got to mention, but a great game so far. Foresters have started to pull off again. As you mentioned, first team to really punch may win this game, so we'll see how that one ends up.
Yeah, man, didn't it feel like there were a couple of body blows there in this boxing match, and now finally Huntington's going for the knockout swing, and Coach Lovich using a timeout here that is not super normal in the women's game, because what happens in the women's game, you can call those timeouts and advance the basketball to half court. So instead, usually you'd see Darby Maggard call the timeout here and advance it, but with a 9-point lead, 1:03 left, you're okay with dribbling it up and taking some of that time. So maybe a little surprising to see Coach Lovich call that timeout, but we're not going to question her. She was the Defensive Player of the Year in the CCAC in 2021, 2022. 1,000-point score, one of the youngest coaches in the entire country, and she played the most games for St. X. So she knows what she's doing coming off a fresh trip to the NAIA National Tournament last year.
Yeah, super talented and very honored. There's a ton of things that you could talk about in regards to Coach Lovich, but we'll see a blocking foul there as some tight defense is played on the Foresters at full court. That's going to give Sheets some free throws. Haven't seen her at the line tonight, but we'll see how she can convert. This one could bring her up to 12 points.
Yeah, she's at 80% on the season, so this is someone you feel pretty comfortable with going to the charity stripe. Like you said, her first 2 tonight, but having another great game. 10 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists.
Basically just about where you're expecting to see her at the end of the night. Exactly averaging 8, 4, and 4, so very solid game as that one brings her up to 11. We'll see how the second turns out to make it an 11-point game. It's Kendra Sheets, cold stone.
And it is so hard to replace someone like Gabi Melby, who's one of the best point guards in Forester history. But Kendra is really picking up her team right now over these last few games.
That's a heartbreaker steal right there, picked off by Allison Price. She'll find Sheets, who finds Nelson. Nelson finds Sheets. They're double teaming her at the top. Only 39 seconds left. We'll see Hartso.
Yeah, you don't have to shoot the ball here if you're the Foresters. You're cool with a shot clock violation even because they're just letting it go.
Just got to dribble it out at this point. We'll see a blocking foul on Julia Benjamin there as Foresters will retain it and take some more free throws.
You know, Sheets is not a big scorer at all, but 4 games this year in double digits scoring, make it now 5 after tonight. And she had 13 points versus Lindsey Wilson. So if she can knock this one in, she ties her season high, which she has. And then with one more, she takes over that season high. It's just what she does. She played 40 minutes on Saturday, and tonight she's picking the team up in a different way with Kendall Yoakum out.
That's right. Very consistent. She's basically always going to give you some solid points, some efficient boards and assists, and again, a shocking amount of boards for her height in comparison to the other players on the team, but we'll see a timeout from Coach Lovich as we'll go ahead and take a quick break and get right back into the action. It's 71-59, Foresters lead as we'll take a short break. Thank you so much for tuning in.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's Washroom is ready to serve you.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Platte Arena. Jumping right back into the action as what's been a close game has been pulling off in Huntington's favor. It's Green driving in instead of the layup, kicks off to Baffia, who takes a shot, no good there, and it looks like that might just be the dagger. It'll be Hartso now as they'll just kind of dribble it out. With 5 seconds left, the Foresters are your victors for tonight. They'll go to, they'll go to 6-3 now as they'll uphold their undefeated record at home. And what a great game this was tonight. A lot of people played incredibly, Preston.
Yeah, and a lot of people played incredibly, but we need to look back in our studio as well. And I know we've got the camera look as you see Kendall Yoakum there, Jonathan Peters, who's run all the bunch. I just got to give a big shout out to them before we run through all the players. Check them out. I knew they'd show it. Hey, Olivia Smith, she's a part of that first women's volleyball team to win the first ever national tournament game here. Excellent crew. Those are all students here. John, I know that you wanted to be on camera tonight. You look your best in that polo. And Jaden, man, they make it happen. Of course, everyone hears our voice, but everyone behind the scenes, excellent job. When we're short-handed tonight, too, because these students want to get out to fall break.
Of course.
When I got to a school break, I was out of there. You know what I'm saying?
That's where I'm going right after this. I'm headed straight home, so a little bit of a drive for me after this one, but glad I get to leave with the notion of a great game in mind. Preston, you want to go over the leaders for tonight?
Yeah, real quick before Darby stops in. Huntington seems to have a different scorer that's in double digits every single night. Tonight there were 3 of them. It's Annika Nelson with 16 and 9. Liv Raby had 15 and 8. A lot of that in the first and a lot of that in the fourth. And then 13 for Kendra Sheets, 9 for Price, 8 for Hart. So 5 for Yoakum, 5 for Schenk. One person that played didn't score, and that was Lauren Merritt. That's kind of been the DNA of this team. They just have everyone step up, next person up mentality, and that's a reason why they keep winning.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got options all over the court. And again, kind of shocking to not see Merritt get so many minutes, as of course we've seen that trio big of Addie Shank, Lauren Merritt, and Liv Raby. But Raby had a great game, 15 points, 8 boards, as you mentioned. Like, it was a very solid game all around. I think everyone really gave it their all. SXU had a lot of players in double digits as well, 4 on their own. So yeah, it was a very good game, and this is a good win for Foresters. They're now 8-1 against this St. Xavier team as they finally break the streak, because I'll get a chance to talk to Darby Maggard, who I actually haven't had a chance to talk to in a while. So howdy, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing very good. It's been a little bit since we've chatted, but it's good to be back on a little bit of play-by-play. You guys had a very solid game tonight.
Thank you.
Annika Nelson obviously led the way with 16, and Liv Raby right behind her with 15.
Yeah.
Of course, Elena Peets had an incredible defensive game for the Cougars, just had a ton of blocks. I wanted to talk about how you guys adjusted to the crazy amount of pressure that she was putting on those shooters in the paint, and how you were still able to score over her throughout the game.
Well, yeah, no, I think Annika obviously had a really good game. I thought she did a really good job of flying around and making plays for our team. I also thought Liv, she held us down. She made some really big buckets late, which we needed inside. And so it's really nice as a coach when you can kind of go to a kid that is super, super efficient and gets the job done down there. So I thought they did a really good job. And then I thought Kendra Sheets, our point guard, she did a good job for the amount of pressure that they were throwing. They were the whole night throwing 2 to 3 people at the basketball. And so I thought she did a really good job of settling into it once she figured out what it was, of getting the ball where it needs to be. And it really was a team effort tonight to handle their pressure.
Yeah, they were very much pressuring you guys, and Kendra Sheets, as you mentioned, had a very solid game. She was able to fight through a lot of those double screens, and they did apply a ton of pressure, but you guys are now 8-1 in this matchup, so like in regards to historical, so that's something great.
That's good. That's what I'm talking about.
St. Xavier's been favorable in this, but this is a very good pickup, and of course you guys go now 6-3 as you exit this one, but I noticed that Lauren Merritt didn't necessarily play as much as she normally would.
Yeah.
It was a very concentrated effort from the starters for sure to knock out this group. How did it go slowing down a lot of their offensive powerhouses like Brooklyn Johnson and Jaden Green? What went into planning stopping them?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been a key for our team for the last few games. I think when we're at our best, we are locked into the defensive side of the ball. And so, St. Xavier is an unbelievable basketball team, and I would be shocked if they don't make a national tournament this year. I think that they're going to be very, very, and they are really, really good. And so it took a full team effort on the defensive side to make sure that we want to make them feel like they're playing against multiple bodies every single possession, and it's not like they just get to go one-on-one. And so tonight I felt like there were times when we did that really, really well, and there were also times when we still have a lot of room to improve on the defensive side of making things tough and like making them earn every single basket. And so, honestly, I was pleased with the growth, but we still have a long way to go on the defensive side of the ball for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the first quarter wasn't necessarily the strongest first quarter we've had, but Annika Nelson at the exit hit a 3. Of course, I've talked about her as this very spark-right player. Like, she'll get you one good bucket, and then the whole team seems to fill in after that. But tonight was a great game. I'm very happy for you guys. I'll be here for a couple more throughout the year. Thank you so much for joining us,
Thank
Coach
you so
Darby.
much. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
You guys are pretty awesome, too, I have to say, but thank you for joining us. That'll close out our game tonight as 71-59. The Foresters take a victory and move on and improve their record. A great game tonight. Any other notes for tonight, Preston?
Yeah, I just think anytime you play a team that went to the national tournament last year and you beat them, what necessarily I wouldn't say was in a convincing fashion, it was still felt like Huntington was going to win in the last 5 minutes. So they didn't dominate, but they did throughout stretches of the game. That's what good teams do. And you look up and down the box sheet every single night, it's always someone else that is just picking up their teammates and coming up big. Kendall Yoakum goes down. That is such a demoralizing thing to happen. It takes the wind out of your sails. She's one of your best shooters in the entire program history. I mean, she's such a good shooter. Someone else takes over. That's extremely important. Now they've got a few tough stretches coming up. They'll go to Grace and then home against IWU, who's always good. But you get a win tonight, non-conference. You get to go home and celebrate with your family for Thanksgiving.
That's right.
That's got to leave a good taste in their mouth.
That's a great way to end off the game right before a little bit of a break. As, this is a very good game, a great pickup. As you mentioned, they've got some tough matchups coming, but I think that'll close it out for tonight. 71-59, Foresters are your victors, and we'll see you all soon with Indiana Wesleyan, December 5th, Saturday at 1 p.m. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Jaden Woods. This is Preston Husband, and this was FDN Sports.
Happy Thanksgiving.